Okay, Jux and I just came in from a mile training run Monday morning, and this was after our training run Canicross yesterday at Wildwood Park. Wanted to put a quick posting out there and provide you with some education, as I heard some comments that was way too far for Jux because she plopped at the end. Let me provide you with some facts and details before we make judgments. First of all, Instagram only gives you 90 seconds to put your message out there, which isn't much time. And sometimes I try to write in my post a little follow-up to help you know where my mind is and what Jux is doing. No, I am not a professional dog trainer, but I know a lot. I've spent a tremendous amount of time in endurance sports, and I look for those same signs in my dog that I do myself. I know a lot about endurance. So her plopping is something she typically does almost every time. She enjoys, number one, basking in the sun, the weather, watching the kids, the people, what have you, and it brings her heart rate down. I allow her that time. We went about 4.5 miles yesterday. Nowhere on course did she plop. So I knew what she had in her and what she didn't have in her. Yes, she was at about her max coming in, which was about 4.5 miles. I do not sprint 5 miles with Jux. I'm 61. I simply cannot do it. The younger kids that race and hook these dogs up to Canicross, they will run their dogs that far nonstop, and you'll see a lot of foaming at the mouth. I do stop Jux on course to water her. If we were racing or getting prepared to enter a race that I was signed up for, we would work away from not watering her as much during the course of a training session and do race-like conditions. Jux is a high prey, high drive, high energy dog with her sire and dam from Romania. You have your pet quality dogs, you have your dogs bred with purpose and with very distinct DNA in it. Jux is no joke. This dog needs to work every day or nearly every day, or she becomes destructive, whether by chewing things up, being a pain in your butt, wanting to go do this or do that, doing zoomies around the house. She needs purpose. She needs to work, and that's what we do. I do enjoy running Canicross with her. You will not find a lot of information in the United States on the sport or the subject. The closest I have found is Kenosha Running Company out of Wisconsin, where they do sell the gear. They do put on the events, which one of these days I'd like to take Jux out there and try that. We have done their virtual Canicross run, and it's a sport that's big in the UK and around the world. Season is in. The only way to get your knowledge is by studying online, which there is a wealth of information put out there by Nonstop Dogwear in Norway. Also, the mushers, the Iditarod people, they have a lot of postings in how they train their dogs, how they feed their dogs, how they vet their dogs, everything that they do. Jux has purpose. Okay, we went 4.5 miles. Nowhere on course did she plop. So I know my dog. I knew what she had in her. I know what she doesn't have in her. She is 17 months old. Her tendons, ligaments, joints are developed. I was extremely careful in raising her for the first just over a year by using harnesses and lifting her up and down off of jumps and what have you, so I didn't cause damage. So I was very careful about that. They start racing these dogs around the world around 18 months old. They start training them around a year and start racing them around 18 months old. Jux loves the sport. I love doing the sport with her. She's learning her commands phenomenally. I mean, I'm so proud of her. So by the time we came in, yes, she was about at her max. I can see when she's getting tired, and we were coming up to the field where she was slowing down. I let her rest a minute, and then we walked to the car. 4.5 to 5 miles is not too much for Jux. We have been training her since she was a puppy. Her summer months do slow down, and I don't take her out in midday. I'm more of a midday runner when it's really hot and kind of brutal out there. I found out quickly she does not do well in a harness in the heat in the middle of the day. So we kind of backed away from that. However, I continue to work with her, whether that's, doing her herding ball in the yard, running laps, what have you, walking through the park or going on training runs through the park, through the trees, in the shade. This dog has been moving since I've brought her home. And I've also, which I don't always post and you don't see, but I do, and I have been upping her mileage. We go out for walks in the morning and oftentimes in the evening for a mile or so. So I have increased her mileage since it has cooled down. So I was very comfortable with her distance yesterday. If I saw her plopping or breathing extremely heavily on course, I would have shortened it. Coming in, I could have cut across and went straight to the car, but I kind of made an assessment and judgment on her, and I walked her probably another almost half a mile and took the long way around back to the car to just help build her endurance. So I hope you understand that I know what I'm doing when it comes to endurance. I know what I'm doing when it comes to endurance with my dog. Though I'm not a professional dog trainer, you will not find, and I've searched high and low on the internet, any dog trainer that will teach you about canicross and endurance with your dog in the United States. They're about obedience and behavior and this and that. And yes, all that's important. And Jux and I have worked on that, and we have sought guidance through our AKC instructors who were absolutely stellar at helping me teach Jux what she needs to know as far as the basics and foundation of obedience and behaving. That still does not erase her DNA of high drive, high prey, high go, high energy. Okay, that was bred into her. She is a hedge house and a DK through and through, both sire and dam. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Hedge house started the German short-haired pointers line back in 1936 with specific training and breeding elements. Jux has got that in her. It's in her DNA, and I see it every day in her. You will never take that out of her. I feel bad making her do slow, obedient, relentless things that she simply does not enjoy and works against her DNA. I want her to know the basics and the foundation, because it is important when we go out into public that she behaves properly for her safety, my safety, and your safety. And she's doing really well at that. She also does a lot of nose work where she likes to sniff and search and hunt and burrow her nose in things and find things. She does do that when I take her out to the park for walks. It's what I've trained her to do, so I cannot punish her for that. Though when I harness her and we go into the canicross harness and I attach her, she has learned pretty well her purpose in that harness, and that's to go. She yesterday I was really impressed with her. So I just want you to be aware that I would never overdo my dog. Yes, we are on a learning curve. Yes, we're learning. I've learned much with her, but we know what we're doing. I've studied a lot. I know her breeding and what she was bred for and what she needs to do, and that is move. So I'll be making more posts as we train and do different things. I do have Jux doing a lot of different things because that's what I like to do. She's my companion. She's my running companion. She's my protection. This dog is everything to me. She's doing her purpose of what I bought her for. And she's very diverse, very skilled, and adapts and learns in everything I've asked her to do. We've done obedience. We've done canine good citizen. We do nose work. We do running and jumping. We do canicross. So this dog at 17 months is multi-talented, and I like that. She's pretty gifted, and that's her DNA coming out in that hedge house and what she was bred for. I've done some backyard things with my husband and her, hunting and shooting guns. Has no fear. This dog has no fear that I have found, but I haven't browbeat her into learning and being dominant, doing things my way. I've worked slowly with her. I've encouraged a positive training environment. Sometimes you have to get firm with her because that's her. That's her high energy, and you cannot always just be gentle, kind, pussyfoot around her. You have to sometimes have firmness with her. That doesn't mean meanness. That just means being firm with her and letting her know who's boss. She's highly confident. She's a strong dog. She will give you everything you ask of her. You just have to know how to work with her. And she does better through instruction and positive reward than being more on a harsh word and harsh demands. I try not to use that unless she's in some sort of danger. Then I am very firm and harsh with her to keep her from a dangerous situation. But I try to train her mostly on positive reinforcement and working through treats and just working with her every day. If you spend time with these working dogs, you'll find out how obedient they can become to your instruction and your word. So I don't want to make this too long, but I wanted to put a posting out there on Jux, the reality of Jux, her habits, her behaviors, my knowledge, my endurance, what I've been doing with Jux since I brought her home at 8 weeks old. And I'm posting this to educate you so you don't always make judgments just by a quick clip you see on the reel. Jux loves her training. She loves getting out there. She loves running. She loves going. She loves sniffing. She loves people. She loves kids. She loves it all. She's a stellar all around, high quality dog, high quality. So I hope you enjoy this posting. I hope it's educated you, and I will talk to you later.